Hi friends, today we're spending a quiet afternoon adding some fabric and lace tabs to Botanical Bliss. Join me and we'll create together. Hi, it's Carrie from Created Me Creative, and welcome to my cozy little corner. I've already started adding a little bit of lace. That's the same lace detail that we did at the top when we did the spine, just to have that continuity, and I love the way it peeks out of the edges. So I am just going to add some bits. I did some ruffles on my sewing machine. I've got this light lavender I thought would be a nice addition. I've used the fabric that we used inside the front cover in both the floral and the green. And I've also dug out some lace bits. I found this one in my stash that I thought we could do maybe some top tabs. And then, much like Gathered in Grace, I have a few tabs that were made in as a snippet roll. And so those are ready. This one may need to be trimmed back a bit to fit properly, but we'll see how that goes. And yeah, so we're just gonna kind of flip through and decide where we're adding it. What I've done with the lace is it's at the beginning of every signature and then at the very last page of the last signature, just to keep it even on the sides like that. It's just so pretty. It's very delicate looking right now, so I don't really want to ruin that, but I do want to add a few more bits and pieces. So I was thinking, I only have 3 of these. So again, 5 signatures, then I would do it in the first, middle, and last. But I was thinking that maybe on this first page of the Edith Holden, in those 3 signatures, we could add a tab because they're shorter and these are wide. So we can just tuck them there and then they'll just peek out slightly. So that's what I was thinking. I'm just not sure which order to put them in. So let's take a look and see what we have for Edith Holden in each signature. So this is 2. Oh, sorry, this is the middle signature. That one might be nice there. Might trim it up a little bit so it's not so long. And then let's check the last signature, which is this one. And then we could put this. I don't really want to cover that. I don't want them all to be in the same spot though either. It's not bad. I will trim it shorter though. I think that's what we'll do. All right, so let's start with the first one. And I'll do this. I like the angle that's already been cut on, so I actually am okay with that. And again, this is just a snippet roll. It's a fabric. You can see that fabric, and then lace, and then just a scrap piece of cardstock, a little floral. Looks like there's book page under there, peeking out a little bit on each, a circle punch, and then just a number, and that's it. And there's not much difference between them. This one's scrap, circle, picture, a word on this one instead of the number, and then on this one, same idea, a button instead of the word. So, yeah. All right, we'll start with this one. I think I will use my Fabri-Tac. And about 3/4. Well, yeah, just about 3/4 of the way. I may need, no, I think we're okay. Just make sure it doesn't glue to the, yeah. Yeah, that's a nice little, just shows just not very much. It's almost even with that lace there on the edge, so that's perfect. All right, center signature. Which is this one, and I think we're gonna go with this. I am gonna trim that up a bit though. And on the bottom as well. That's not very straight. There we go. Let's tuck those over there. And we want it about the middle of the page, so we'll go here like this. I wanted to add these Edith Holden pages into this book because these are actually pages from the April section. And the new owner of this journal, her birthday is in April, so I thought that would be a nice addition. There's the next one. Very good. And then we'll move to the last one, which will be somewhere here. 1, 2, there it is. And again, I'm going to trim this one just like that. And I did end up covering some of that purple flower. There's just a bit popping out, so I'm okay with that. We'll move these bits. I don't know if I'll be able to use them or not. They're pretty tiny. Okay. All right, so let's see about adding the floral. I just need to know how much I have. So 1, 2, ooh, I might only have enough for 2. Let's see what I've got in the green. 1, 2, 3. All right, so I am going to do the green in the first, middle, and last, and I'm going to do the floral in the second and third, second and fourth. Keep it straight, Carrie, keep it straight. So second and fourth. So we have the lace detail near the front. So maybe towards the back, or maybe center, because I have this as well. I just don't know how many I can get from this one. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a bit. So not 5. Maybe just off the middle. So here's the middle. That's the middle. I'm not gonna like it there. I really am either thinking on the music I don't like it on that purple, but I do like it on that purple. That's getting closer to the end though. Like that's, I don't mind it there. I think maybe that's the best spot for it. Yeah, I think it's gonna look good on that purple. So let's just look in the, yeah, it'll be good, that one then. I just turn straight to it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put it on the purple. Ooh, glue string, woohoo! And let's trim this right there. And I think if I try and put the glue right on the stitching, it's going to be the right amount of fabric coming off the page. And I like the glue on the sewing because then you do not see the stitching from the back side. And I think it honestly gives it a little bit more security. Yeah, I like that. I like it with the stripe behind it. The reverse side picks up on all those colors. Looks really nice that way. I just want to make sure it's even. And then we'll close the book and make sure it's not sticking out. Oh, it's perfect. Perfect. All right. 5th signature, back purple page right here, and we will repeat. I love it when a plan comes together. And I didn't even plan it. I'm going to try and get this journal done in the next week or so. I'm taking my time on it because I want to just make sure that it's absolutely perfect. And of course, being away, not that I lost my mojo, it's just that I was away from it. So I'm trying to pick it back up without forgetting where I was. And because it's a custom journal, and she didn't give me a time frame, I just want to make sure that I'm getting all the details absolutely perfect for her. And I think she's been peeking at, not the videos, but little snippet pictures, close-ups, just little bits and pieces on my Facebook and my Instagram. And I think she's figured out that I've chosen purple as the accent color. And when I spoke to her last, she goes, I am so excited. I can't wait. So I really do want to get this done for her because I know she wants to get using it. And yeah. All right. I really love the way the back, I mean, it's not typical for me to like the back of the fabric because, I mean, I like it, but it's, for it to complement so well, it's just, I really, really like that. All right. So far, we've got that. So now let's add the green polka dot, and let's just check and see what paper that would be. All right, where did we go? So center, 1, and then there was the music, and then there was a coffee stain. So let's see, center. Yeah, I don't think I did it in the same order. And that's too far to the back, so it's probably that one. I don't think I want it on that one. Because this is the very center. Oh no, this is the center. Let's just check that again. So if that's the center and that's the center, turn the page. Okay. Maybe it'll be easier to count back from the back. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 5th one. So let's try that. 1. Somehow I'm glued together. 2, 3, 4. The 5th one. So it's this one. I'm just wondering if it will get in the way because that's a lined piece of paper. I think I'm going to do it on the coffee stained paper. I think that's going to be fine. And get some of those. I love it when the fabric and lace have a bit of a worn feel to them. It feels like it's already lived a life. And when you're putting together a journal that has that little bit of a vintage feel, even though it's a new fabric, just that little bit of fray allows it to carry that, you know, I've had a life characteristic, and that's important. So if I put that there, I like the way it looks when it's laid out. You can see all the layers there. It looks so pretty. Okay, the only other option is to put it on this one. And I'm just not sure if that's, maybe I will though. And I only say that because it's less writing space on a page like this because you're probably not going to write over the floral. So maybe I will put it there. I think that's what I'm going to do. All right, so let's cut that down for size. There we go. Okay, and we'll put that on. Make sure that the thread is not showing from the back side. More glue strings. Okay. So we're going to do that in the middle signature, and we're going to do it in the last signature. And then I think I'm going to work on some tabs, and then I'll figure out if or where I'm putting that. So I want to do some fabric tabs across the top of the journal. Just peeking out a little bit, kind of like the lace here, so that, yeah, and I'm going to use this ribbon here and possibly some of this lace. I have it here as well in small pieces if I need it. 2 different ones. They're just leftovers that I pulled out because I knew that they would work. And then I also have this ribbon that I used on some of the projects in the Little Pages, Big Possibilities. And because those pieces are coming into this journal, I could use this as well. So I have those. So, but let's get these other 2 pieces of polka dot fabric in. I will fast forward through it, and I'll meet you on the other side. So while I was putting the fabric on, I ended up tearing it just a smidge. I don't know if you can see that there. Just the stitching came out. I was trying to spread it out like this, and I ended up pulling it, and ripping not just the fabric, but the stitch right out of it. So I didn't want to take that out. What I want to do is come up with a solution to rectify that. And so what I think I'm going to do is maybe add, I've got a few of these. I don't know if you remember when I was showing you the package I got of all the lace and doily details. This came with it, and it's just a bulb pin with a button and a little bit of a crocheted flower. And so what I'm gonna do, and I will do it on all of the green, make it look purposeful, is I am just going to pin this in a ruffle above so that when it sits, if I can get the pin done up, I'm all thumbs right now, so I'll use my finger instead. And then when it sits there, it's actually covering that detail. And it just adds another little vintage detail to the, and I might have to pin it up just a smidge higher, but I think that's gonna work. And I will add that extra detail on all three green ruffles. So, yeah. All right, so I want to do tabs across the top of the pages now. And I'm going to use this purple, probably in 2 signatures. I'm going to use this green. Actually, I may do this in 3 and the green in 2, opposite of these ruffles. And then we'll see how much space we have left over for the lace. So let's see. Maybe we will do a tab on the music. We could do it on the music. I think this is delicate enough for this vintage music paper. So yeah, so I'm just gonna cut. I don't want it to be too big. So when I fold it in half, I only want it to be about a 1/2 inch. So I only need, I think that's about a 1/2 inch. Yeah, so I only need about 1 inch worth of fabric, but I'll cut just a little bit more. Not even sure if I was on camera for that. All right, and we're just gonna fold it in half. And we're just going to put it at the top of the page, just for a little added detail, just like that. So let me get some glue. I think I'm just going to use my Barely Art glue, just because it is such a delicate piece of lace. And let's just see, actually, you know what? I might do it this way instead. That'll give me a better gluing surface. So let's go that way. So I'm just gonna come across these words. And glue there. I'm gonna give it a little bit of glue on the back side of this circle. And then we will turn the page. And I think honestly right there on those words is going to be perfect. Just going to pop out just, maybe just above. Come on, glue. Oh, there we go. Didn't want to, a little bit longer. That's a lot of glue. And I'm going to put some glue on the bottom half of that. Actually, I think it was probably the top half that I needed. the top half. And maybe these ivies up here. And we'll glue those two together. There we go. And just a little tab at the top. Nice and delicate, not too overwhelming. So we'll let that dry. And we'll move to the center signature. And I think we'll do the same thing. We'll just use that music paper. I'm not sure. It's probably not in the same position. And about 1.5 inches, which doesn't really matter because I'm going the other way now. All right, I'll come across. I think it's just going to go in the same spot. We'll move the next color to a different spot. And I will put a little bit of glue right there. Flip it over. I don't think this one is quite as wide, which is good. We don't want them all exactly the same. Oh, just need a little bit more. This old paper really soaks the glue in. So sometimes you need a little bit extra. There we go. That's 2. And then we'll go to the last signature and do 1 more. It's a nice little detail on the top there. So pretty. All right, so I think we will do the green, and I think we'll do it in, I wish I had a green lace. Actually, you know what? I don't even think I like that. I think I'm going to actually use this instead, the full width. I don't think that green is wide enough. It won't do what I want it to. So we'll use this. And again, we'll just cut it. I'll do 2 of them. I don't think I cut that very straight. And move that over there. Now this one's a little bit heavier, so I don't think the music paper is a good idea. So maybe we'll do it on this piece. And I'm going to do it so that it's set from the purple that's here. So now do I want it that way? Or do I want it that way? I think I'm going to get a better gluing surface if I do it this way. So let's do, yeah, let's do that. We'll do it right at the edge of the paper. Just like that. Just going to put a little bit of glue here so that it doesn't fray. There we go. And that will dry, but while it's drying, let's protect the paper from underneath, because I did do a little extra. Yeah, I think that's going to work. So we're going to come across here. And again, I'm going to throw some glue right at the ends so that it doesn't fray. have to let me know if you like adding fabric and lace details to your journals, or if you like them a little bit cleaner. Your style, vintage, modern, eclectic. What else is out there? Shabby chic. A little mix of everything. All right, I'm going to leave that plastic there, and we'll move to the fourth signature, which is this one. And we'll go on that same paper again. I like a little bit of vintage, for sure. But I also like using my everyday stuff and adding it, distressing it a bit so it has a bit of a vintage feel without it being too vintagey. And yeah, I like a mix. A little vintageness. So, and here we go, right here. But I also like stepping out of my comfort zone and working on journals that are not truly my vibe. I did that at Christmas with that masculine journal. If you haven't had a chance to look at that, go take a boo. I believe it's under the flip through playlist. The title is Moment in Time. That was out of my comfort zone, but I enjoyed it. Sometimes getting out of your comfort zone, not only does it ask you to, you know, imagine, create, step into a different era or time, but it allows you to think outside the box. And yeah. All right, I knew I should have, before I think I'm going to check this one and see how it is. Yeah, that one's good. So I'm going to pop this here, turn that way, and let it go. Let it dry for a minute. And then we have to decide whether or not we need to or want to add this. This one struggled in the machine because it was actually a ribbon, not a piece of fabric. It's got a fabric feel, but it was actually a ribbon that I purchased at Michael's. And so it did not want to feed through my machine well. So the front looks great. The zigzag stitch on it is good, but the back is kind of draggy. And yeah, and I was hoping I could get 5 ruffles out of it. I wonder if I could... You know what I'm going to do? I am going to measure it. I'm going to cut it in 5 equal pieces. And I think what I'm going to do is put it on, if I can, if it's not too close to anything else, put it on the Edith Holden in the first, middle, and third signature. Oh, I am caught. There we go. If I can find that, yeah. I just don't know if it's not going to stick out as far. That's the only thing. And I don't know if I, let me just look. Like, honestly, it's probably full enough on the edge. I just was thinking the soft purple would be nice. What do you think? See, the problem is if I put it in there, I'm going to want it in all 5 signatures to break up the green. I'm going to give it a thought. I'm just going to think about it. In the meantime, I am going to get a couple of details. Okay, so I have found my jar of buttons, and I am just, there's that one. It's kind of got a pearlesque look to it. There's this tiny little brown one. I was trying to see if I had, woo! There they go, flying. Is that this? Nope, that's got blue on it. That's very similar to the button that's here. Not exactly, but close. And then I've got, oh, see if I can get it out. I might have missed it. I'm going to have all my buttons on the counter. That is okay, though. There's this really tiny one there. Like super tiny. So I have a couple of options. There's another one that's in the cream. All different. Nothing green, though. Except big ones. Wow, look at that one. That one I'm afraid will break. That's really pretty though. All right, I have two like that, which are similar but not the same. So actually those aren't even the same now that I look at them. Yeah. Oh, I really love that. I think I'm going to use that one and that one. And it doesn't even matter that they don't match the other one. Those ones are absolutely gorgeous with that mother of pearlescent look to it. So that is what I'm going to do. Now I'll just clean up all my buttons. Wasn't there a poem or a game? Button, button, who's got the button? Do you remember that? Am I just remembering weird things now? All right. I think I threw a button over this way, but I will find it in a minute. And I'm just going to toss those to the side while we do this. Okay, so this one here has got a little bit too much going on here. So I'm just going to cut that off. And I've got 2 flowers, 2 bulb pins, 2 buttons. This one here, I think I'm going to move it up to the next ruffle. Just give it a little bit more fabric to hold on to. And see if my thumbs will work again. There we go. I like that. Okay. So then we'll go to the middle one. Let me just see. Button first, then a piece. I'll just go through a petal and we'll put it around the same spot. I think that's a good spot for it. It'll look more intentional that way. See, that's the beauty of a junk journal. Now, I don't like the word junk because honestly, one, I don't often use what we classify as junk. It might be somebody else's, like it might be junk, but I don't know. I like calling them journey journals because even the material that we use has been on a journey. And I don't know. I feel like it's anything that turns out to be this beautiful, regardless of what it's made of, is not junk. It's just not. So, all right. So now we've got 3 of those, all different buttons, but I really like that. And I think I am going to call it a day. I do have, I pulled these out because I wasn't sure where I was putting them yet, the 2 paper clips. And we will add those the next time. I don't know. I think I'm going to work on some pockets and some tucks the next time. I am going to use some of these doily pieces, maybe 1 or 2 as a pocket. I did do one in the front cover. I sewed or glued it in. I didn't sew it. I glued it in, and it's going to hold one of those little writing journals that we made. Actually, I have it sitting right here. This little journal that we made, again, part of the Little Pages, Big Possibilities. And that's just going to sit inside the front cover, just like that. I may actually do the same on the back, but I'm not certain. It'll have to be a shallower pocket because I can't let it interfere with the tie. And yeah. So we'll do pockets and tucks, maybe some page decorating next time. And then we'll pull it all together the week after that. And I will get this off to her new owner. For now, that is it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I always love having you here. Let me know that you were watching. Leave a comment for me below. And yeah, let's chat. And we'll talk soon. Okay, bye-bye.